with that, we are live. Hello and welcome. This is the official start of the Ironman World Championship Race Prep Series. If you are new here, my name is Ryan Dreyer. I am the founder and head coach of Tribal Training. And as of today, I am 12 weeks. I am 12 weeks out from the Ironman World Championships in Nice, France in September. And I have never done a race prep series on YouTube. And I want to stretch myself. I want to stretch myself as a creator and as a storyteller, and I want to document this journey. And so I am hitting record, and we are going along this ride together. I have now done 5 Ironmans. This is going to be my 6th. And to me, I want to do this race prep for really 2 reasons. Number one is that, to be honest, I'm actually having to find that I am having to talk myself into this prep a little bit. Every Ironman that I have done until now, it's like, I want to qualify for Worlds. I want to qualify for Worlds. I want to qualify for Worlds. And now all of a sudden I'm finding myself 12 weeks out from the World Championships. And I'm like, going out on those 4 and 5 hour rides, I don't really have that drive or that zest right now. And so in order to bring that back, I am basically getting back to the foundations of what makes this process smooth, right? Across fueling, across prep the night before, across bike setup, across efficiency. And I think that for beginners, if you're new to endurance, if you're new to doing Ironmans, if you want to do Ironmans better, I think that this series will help you see how you can really nail the foundations, because that, to me, is what this is really all about. Now, the other reason why I'm a little bit having to talk myself into getting into this prep is that I'm just in a new phase of life. I got a 2-year-old kiddo. My wife has her own business that's been rolling on for almost 2 years now. My own business has grown significantly in the last 18 months. I have a couple sub-businesses within my business. And so an evolving father, an entrepreneur, and my evolution as an athlete has stayed somewhat constant the past 5 years. I've done about an Ironman a year, a 70.3 or 2, a bunch of ultra marathons. I do a lot of ultra marathons related to our team experiences in Tribal. I do a lot of ultra coaching in races. And so to me, all those ideas are kind of swirling in my head, and I'm like, I got to kind of talk myself into this prep. And so I figured, boom, let's get back to basics. Let's officially mark this Ironman World Champs. To me, this is the end of the beginning. This beginning phase of my journey into endurance, it's been a 5 or 6 year phase, so long beginning, if you want to call it that. But my goal getting into my first Ironman was to qualify for World Champs, and it's taken me a lot longer than I expected. I thought I was going to do it my first one. I got humbled like crazy, and I kept chipping away. And along the way, I've been able to build a business around the sport. I've been able to guide and mentor and coach athletes getting into it, help them improve, help them do things they've never done before. And all of a sudden, the capacity with which I can provide that value to the world and help people like that, it's evolving and it's growing. And so, forcing these Ironmans into my life, that's really what's allowed so much of my life to change over the past 5 or 6 years, living on the East Coast in Philly, where I'm from, moving out to Colorado, where I live now. And so with all of that said, I'm like, let's get into one of these race prep series. Let's hit record on the camera. Let's document the journey, and let's hopefully bring some value to the world. So with that, today's training, what do we got on today's training? Today's training is a 3-hour ride. I say that I'm 12 weeks out from Ironman World Champs, but I'm also 8 days out from the Leadville Trail Marathon. Marathon distance, 26.2, not the 100. And so today's ride is a 3-hour endurance ride. I'm not really tapering for the Leadville Marathon, but I don't want to add any unnecessary fatigue. So I'm not really going to be doing too many hard intervals over the next 8 days. So I got a steady Z2 ride today, but I will get into some climbing. I want to go enjoy myself out in the mountains a little bit. I am coming off of being sick about 5 days ago, and so to me, emotionally, I'm just kind of needing a good experience today. I'm needing a good ride, a good enjoyable ride that's well fueled, I don't want to be grinding too much. Want to just bank like a really quality 3 hours. I am starting the morning here. I got coffee with Maple Boost. Should we just go inside and see Maple Boost? Let's just go inside and see Maple Boost, and we'll get into the fueling stuff here. All right, boom. So we got Maple Boost right here that I just put into this coffee. And Maple Boost, get this set up here, Maple Boost is the natural pre-workout that I am experimenting with as my first go at creating a supplement. And the reason that I wanted to build Maple Boost is that I love natural fueling. I use the sports mixes, I race with them, but I've also done an entire Ironman on 3 cups of maple syrup and nothing else. And in my diet, I like to eat really clean. And so I wanted to find a pre-workout. I couldn't find a pre-workout, so I wanted to make one that was free of just the added sugars and junk ingredients. And so what Maple Boost is basically natural organic maple sugar, dehydrated maple syrup. It's got added sodium, magnesium, potassium for electrolyte function, muscle function. It's got B vitamins, B1, B6, good brain energy, good energy transfer, and then it's got L-theanine as well, which balances out the caffeine. And so the idea, right, is that you can put this into coffee. Now, all of a sudden, the morning ritual of the coffee, you get the caffeine for the boost in the training, and you get the Maple Boost for the calories. That is 100 calories per package that I've got built out right now. And so I'm sipping on that, and let's get into the fuel for the rest of the morning. This is the first time I've ever made overnight oats. I was thinking I wanted something super simple, and I wanted something that would be easy to have this morning that didn't really need a lot of prep. And so I hit up ChatGPT, and let's get the macros on this. So what I went with in here was half cup rolled oats, half cup milk. I used one of the Oikos 000 vanilla Greek yogurts, 1 medium banana, and then sprinkled with cinnamon and salt. And this is a total of 420 calories, 70 grams of carbs, 25 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat. So between this and the Maple Boost, we got about 520 calories pre-workout. Will give me a really good base. Inside, I've got 500 calories of maple syrup, and then I've got 2 Muir gels that are about 150 calories each. And that is going to be my calorie fueling for today on this bike ride. Boom, let's go. All right, so I told you that part of this prep is me getting back to foundations, and that is about me actually setting myself up to enjoy all this long training. And what I have found is that the easiest way for me to not enjoy any of the long training is to not prep for it the night before, to be scrambling in the morning, to find all my shit, where are my bottles, are the bottles clean, what am I fueling with? It just causes so much stress. And then by the time that I even get into the session, I'm like, fuck, man, riding for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, like, this seems like a grind. And so back to basics here, foundations. I laid all this stuff out the night before. These bottles were in the fridge. I got 3 bottles. These are just water with electrolytes, nothing special. And then I got my calories. I got 500 calories of maple syrup here. And then I got 2 of these Muir gels that are left over from a 50K that I ran 2 weeks ago. I really like these. This Muir Cashew Vanilla Mate was absolutely elite. And I don't even know that I actually had this Cacao Almond Mate, but this ended up in my pack. And these have a little caffeine boost too, 90 milligrams. So I'll get a little extra boosted. Always down with that. And then I will definitely stop to refill my waters. And I got these Zero Light electrolytes that were on sale at Whole Foods. I'm not usually a huge watermelon guy, but these watermelons are really, really good. So got this all set up the night before, super easy. And then let's go ahead and look at the bike setup. I also got to show off the fact that I just cleaned my garage last night. Shout out to my mom, she helped me clean the garage. And this is the setup for the bike today, right? This is how you stay efficient as fuck. All right, bike is locked in. I love this stand. I got this stand off Facebook Marketplace like 5 or 6 years ago for like $10, and it has been one of the best investments in my entire triathlon journey. I got the pump here. Always pump your tires before you ride. Boom. Shoes, helmet, sunglasses, tunes. All right. And that is how we make it extremely freaking easy to start. Foundations. Set up the night before. Keep it clean. If you are out in this garage, now we're in Tribal HQ. If you're new to my videos, this is Tribal headquarters. This is where the magic happens on the Biz building. If you were in this garage last night, it looked like a bomb went off. And now it looks nice and neat and clean. My mother-in-law's coming, so I had to sort of prep up a little bit, make sure all things were settled on that front. So here we go. All right, so Z2 ride for 3 hours. Here's the targets we're thinking about. Somewhere around 200 watts, 180 to 200. If I'm feeling really good and I'm a little higher than that, then so be it. I don't expect to be up over 210, so kind of 200 bubble. And heart rate, well, I'd like to be low 120s, maybe even high 1-teens, like 115, 118 kind of thing. But I don't know where my heart rate strap is. I'm pretty bulletproof on that, but just in the chaos of cleaning last night and didn't figure out where it was and haven't really been training this week since I was sick, like I mentioned. So a little off calibration there. Not going to let it hold me back. 190-ish watts, 118 heart rate. That'd be awesome. We'll see how the wrist heart rate complies. Let's go. All right, what is going on? We are 40 minutes into the ride here, and I got to give you a couple of tips on what I'm working on. Because this is a Zone 2 ride, but that doesn't mean that we're just out here lollygagging it. First tip, I just stopped to pee. Automatic watch pauses. You got to have the auto pause on your watch. Way too often I see guys, they forget to start it, they forget to stop it, the data's all fucked up. Just turn on the auto pause. Come on, let it do the work for you. Side of the road leak, recharged. Okay, as for the warm-up here, so 3-hour ride, right? That's what we're getting into. First 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I really take my time warming up, but I'm very intentional with my cadence. So that whole time there, I'm riding at a little bit of a lighter power, but over 90 cadence. That's the goal. And what I'm seeing with that in my training is that helps train the neuromuscular movements of the pedal stroke, keeps me efficient. When I see guys riding easy at low cadences, 75, 80, maybe even lower, it ends up just being super slow and sloppy, and there's a lot of inefficiencies in the pedal stroke that end up showing up late in races when their legs start to break down. So that's what we've had going on so far. We are about to dive into South St. Vrain Canyon here. This is my favorite canyon here in Boulder, and I'm gonna get into a 45-minute set of big gear climbing. Big gear climbing, I'm gonna stay in big ring the whole time, going up this canyon. It's up the whole way, and I'm gonna be at a low cadence and a moderate power, still zone 2, high zone 2 power. And what that's gonna do is the lower cadence with that moderate, strong power is gonna help train my endurance muscle fibers, help make my muscles more durable for long rides. It's also gonna moderate my heart rate a little bit, that lower cadence, less rapid turnover, my body's a little bit more relaxed. So these are 2 ways here that I'm helping my body develop within just a standard Zone 2 ride. Now, the other thing going on here that I'm a huge believer in is you gotta train for the race conditions and the race terrain that you'll be doing. And so the Nice course, tons of fucking climbing. It's got like 10,000 feet. And so a lot of my rides here are getting into climbing, where I'm going up canyons. I'm gonna be coming down, but then I'm gonna get a second section of climbing at some point here in this 3-hour ride. So with that said, sun is coming up over the mountains. We've got a beautiful couple cars here, but relatively quiet canyon. Let's go enjoy it. Sun peeking up over the mountains. This is dope as fuck.
All right, one little perk I gotta tell you on the big gear climbing. So about 3 years ago I was doing this, and the low cadence with high power exposed that my knee was wobbling a little bit at the top of my pedal stroke. Probably not gonna be able to show it to you here, but I'd look down and I'd see that my left knee would almost swoop out and then it would come in. And so, number one, it just exposed that I could work on that inefficiency. And number two, it helped me realize that needed to be better. Boom. All right, we are done. Successful 3-hour ride. Final stats, we're coming in 3 hours and 42 seconds. 53 miles, 53.51 miles. Let's get some power numbers. Average power, 170. Normalized power, 186. So kind of right in that range that I was thinking of. Normalized power, 186. I was thinking right, 190, something like that. The heart rate data, I think it's a little wonky on the watch. It says average 130, max 163. I don't think I got up to 163, no way. I was working a little bit on some of those climbs, but I think that was more like mid 120s, but hey, not gonna be perfect. That's okay. What ended up going down is I thought I was gonna be doing a 45-minute straight climb, but I decided to break it into 3 climbs. The first was like 17 minutes, second was like 20 minutes, and the third was like 22 or 23 minutes. And I wanted to give myself some climbing practice and then some descending practice and repeats on that, because that will realistically be more like what this course is like. And I also wanted to distribute the load across the ride. So I was thinking 45-minute climb and then figure out another climb later in the ride. I ended up just stacking that, a little more than an hour of total climbing with a lot of really good descending practice. Good, short, like 7-minute descents is what those were. Like carving corners, really working on my braking going into turns. And overall, just having a lot of fun. Opted for a creek dip instead of a coffee shop stop, which was very successful. I was getting a little hot. It's gonna hit like 100 today here in Colorado. And I was warming up a little bit, so the creek was refreshing as fuck. And I felt really strong coming through the remaining hour-ish, 40-ish minutes of the ride. That creek dip was at like 220. So overall, again, a zone 2 ride, but so many different things working well. What I finished the ride with was some high cadence work. So I was riding at like 100 RPMs. So you think about like the beginning of the ride, right? This isn't just stock zone 2 out there just moseying along. It's like intentional, high cadence, neuromuscular development. We got the climbing segments, big gear work. One thing I love on the big gear work is that 3 years ago, I was riding with my buddy Gordo and we were doing big gear climbs, and he realized from behind me that when I was in that heavy gear where you kind of lose that leverage at like the 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock position of the pedal stroke, depending on which side you're looking at the bike from, and my knee was like doing this wobbling. And so over time, right, you might think that you're just fatiguing, you need to be doing longer rides and training, you need stronger legs, right? It's so easy to think that. But really what I needed was better mechanics. And I will finish with the endurance lesson that very oftentimes poor mechanics shows up as poor endurance. But if you improve your mechanics, that often can unlock endurance that you already have. Thanks for hanging. Might cook up some breakfast here in a minute, bring you along for the ride. We'll see. All right, I gotta add in the bonus on the fuel. Okay, big fueling lessons. I really enjoyed the overnight oats. Little bit too much yogurt in it, but I really enjoyed it. But I ate it way too close to me leaving for this ride. I ate it in like 2 minutes, like 10 minutes before I walked out the door. I had like a 500 calorie meal. And so I didn't really feel hungry at all. I actually had kind of some bubble gut a little bit in that first hour. So I ended up having those 2 gels because I wanted a little caffeine boost at times. But that was it. So I had 200 calories on that ride. I mean, that was basically 700 total. But that was how it worked out. Learning about the fueling, banking it, adjust moving forward. Let's go. So here we go. We got the we're back. All right, Jack, let's just check in first real quick. We're gonna distribute the waffle in a second. We're back where the day started. We got the post-workout meal. We got 4 eggs. We got 2 Kodiak cakes. I've been eating these just like as actual cakes like this. I haven't really been doing the butter and syrup situation. And Jack, is that airplane? We got airplane. All right, Jack, and of course we got a little coffee. Jack, you want a piece of this waffle, huh? We'll distribute this up, right? Because you had big gains this morning too. You went to the coffee shop with Mama to get, what'd you get? Did you get sourdough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's your square. Your little corner. All right, time to eat up. Peace. Say peace, Jack.
Peace.
Peace.